Hi boys and girls, and welcome to your maths lesson for today. Okay, we're going to warm our brains up, get ourselves thinking in different ways and just expanding our mind a little bit. And here's the challenge that your teachers would like you to do today. It's a spot the odd one out challenge, and we have some grapes, some kiwi fruit and some oranges. So grapes, kiwi fruit and oranges. Which is the odd one out? Remember, there's no set answer. You just need to come up with one, and importantly, give us a reason why. And I must admit, I'm stumping my head on this one a little bit. So pause the video, let us know. Okay, I wonder what you came up with and the reasons why you said that. So let us know on DB Primary, and I can't wait to go through some of those answers. Okay, let's have a look at our Maths Master Challenge today. So we've got the Maths Master with us, and he's the master because he knows everything about maths, but most importantly, uses what he knows to solve challenges and problems. And we're going to be looking at measurement this week. And the type of measurement we're looking at is comparing mass. So mass is talking about weight, how heavy an object is, the mass of that object. So we've got some scales here, and I'm about to talk to you over on the learning table about our scales. I'll see you over there in one moment. And we're back over here at the learning table, boys and girls, and we have some scales on the table. Now I know you know all about scales and you've been doing lots of work in class about them. We're just going to do a little recap. So right now the scales aren't leaning either way. They're pretty neutral. They're sitting in the middle, and I was wondering if anybody knows why they're kind of staying in the middle instead of one side going up and down. So pause the video and tell your adult, why are the scales just sitting flat in the middle? Okay, I wonder if you were able to get that. The reason is because there's nothing in either side. They both weigh the same. They both have the same amount of air in them. So they're neutral. They're equal. They weigh about the same. Now it's slightly more on this side, but it's probably just a hinge on the scale. Don't worry about that. Okay, now, what if I get a couple of cubes? Okay, you can see them just here. Oh, don't want to put it. Just there. What if I put the cubes in this one here? What do you think is going to happen if I put cubes in this one and put nothing in this one? Pause the video and tell your adult. Okay, let's have a look. So I'm going to put the cubes in. What's happened? Do you think you could describe to your adult what's happened? Okay, this side has gone down because it's heavier than this side. It's pushed that up into the air, and that tells us that this is heavier than this side. Now, because I put two cubes in there, if I put two cubes in the other side, that should balance this back out to make it the same. It's going to bounce around for a little bit, but don't worry, it should come back to the middle. They're just having a bit of a swing around. But you see how now there's not one on the bottom and one on the top, and that's because I've equaled out the weight. I've balanced out the scales by putting two in each. Now I've got a question for you. What do you think is going to happen if I take the cubes out of this one, but I leave those ones in? Pause the video and chat to your adult about what you think is going to happen if I do that. Okay, let's see if you were right. Take these cubes out. Of course, this side goes down because that tells us that this side is heavier than this side. Okay, well done, boys and girls. We've looked at when it's equal, and we've looked at when one side's heavier and one side's lighter. So now we're going to do some work on the board together. See you in a moment. Okay, boys and girls, if you feel comfortable with that explanation, come and join us with the rest of this lesson. If you need more time thinking about it, just rewind that portion of the video and have another go. Okay, now we've got a picture of a scale on the board. What does it mean when this side of the scale is down? So when that's down like that, what does it mean? Tell your adult. Okay, it means that this is the heavier object is on this side because that is pushing that down while that goes up. So the heavier object is on this side. Well done. What does it mean when that side of the scale is up? What does that mean? Talk to your adult. Tell them what it means. Okay, it means it has the lighter object on that side because that side must be heavier, so it's pushing it down that way. Well done, boys and girls. Okay, what does it mean when the scales are balanced? When they're perfectly in the middle, just like we talked about before on the learning table. Chat with your adult. It means both items on the scale have the same mass. Remember when we had the 2 cubes and 2 cubes, they had the same mass as each other. That meant they balanced each other out, and we ended up with scales that look just like this. Okay, now we need your pencil and your paper, your little book, because I want you to look at this picture of the apple and the strawberry, and it says which object is heavier and which object is lighter. So I'd like you to record your answers. If you pause the video. Okay, let's have a look at your answers then, boys and girls. So, which object is heavier? The apple is heavier. And which object is lighter? It's the strawberry. Well done. How do you know? Talk to your adult. The apple is pushing down the scale, which means it is the heavier of the 2 objects. Well done. Okay, we've got some more now. We've got the cherry and a banana. So we've got a couple of cherries and a banana. Same again. Which object is heavier? Which object is lighter? Pause the video. Okay, the heavier object is the banana, and you can tell it's pulling it down. And which object is light? Well, not pulling it down, it's pushing it down, sorry. And which object is lighter is the cherry. Well done, because the cherry's been pushed up into the air, which means that they are the lighter of the 2. The banana has more mass. Well done, boys and girls. How do you know? Because we've read the scales. Okay. What do the balance scales show now? So we've got an orange and an apple. What is it telling you? Pause the video, talk to your adult, explain what the scales are telling you about those objects. Okay, the answer is the balance scales show that the apple and orange weigh the same because the balance is neutral. It's exactly in the middle. It's perfectly balanced, meaning that the mass of both of those objects must be the same. Well done, boys and girls. Let us know how you got on with that on DB Primary. Okay, complete the comparison sentences. So to do this, what we're going to need to remember is our greater than and smaller than crocodiles, okay? So remember, when comparing 2 things, the crocodile is always going to eat, he's always going to eat the greater object. Yes, he's going to be pointing towards the greater number or the greater mass in this case, okay? So let's have a look together. Right, so we've got our crocodile eating here, so this is telling us that something is greater than something. So that'll start you off. Pause the video, have a look. We've got a battery and a cube. Read what the scale's telling you and put that into a sentence using the greater than or less than sign. Okay, so the battery is greater than the cube. And you know that because the battery's mass is greater than the cube's mass. Okay, the cube is less than or smaller than the battery. They're just the reverse of each other. So the battery is greater than the cube, and the cube is less than or smaller than the battery, yeah, because its mass is greater. Well done if you were able to do that, boys and girls. If not, rewind it back and just go through that part again. Excellent work. Okay, we have another diagram now. We have a raspberry and a banana on the scale. They both have different masses because they're not sat in neutral. So the something is heavier than the something, and the something is lighter than the something. Pause the video, write out your sentence, take your time, and press play when you're ready to join us. Okay, the banana is heavier than the raspberry. I'm glad I said raspberry. I was worried that we're going to say a different fruit there. And the raspberry is lighter than the banana. Well done, boys and girls. So clever. Okay, now we've got a cute little teddy bear and some dice. Okay, compare the mass using greater than or smaller than or less than. So we've got the teddy and the dice. How would you compare them using those signs? Okay, let's have a look. One bear is greater than 2 dice. So one bear has a greater mass than 2 dice. 2 dice are less than 1 bear. And we can see that in our diagram there. And we saw that when we had the scales out. Great work, boys and girls. Fantastic. Okay, boys and girls, because this video is getting bigger than we're allowed to have in one video, we're going to have a second part to this. So what I need you to do now is close this one down and go to part 2 of today's lesson. I'll see you there.